Hello and welcome. My name is Raymond Dijoma, and I'm a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer here in Nigeria. So, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about building wealth through rental income. Building wealth through rental income. Of course, you already know that real estate is a sure pathway to building sustainable wealth, right? And rental income or the rental income strategy is one of the ways that you can explore within real estate to build wealth for yourself and for generations yet unborn, right? And that's really sure. As we've always said, real estate is not a get rich quick scheme, but a get rich for sure. And one of the ways to get rich for sure is exploring the rental income strategy. That's what we're going to share in this particular video. This video is brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd, a real estate company right here in the city of Abuja. And we actually bring you the very best of real estate. We don't just share the opportunities with you, we also educate you so that you know how to safely and rightly invest in a city like Abuja. We are called the cash flow company. Right here is one of the reasons we are called the cash flow company, because to us, it's not just enough to buy the property. You have to be strategic about buying it. You have to be deliberate about buying it, because if you buy wrongly, then it won't be an income generating asset. So let's get started. Let me start by sharing a very quick story. Growing up, grew up in Delta State, where I was born and bred, of course. And we had this as a very young boy, as a very young boy. We had this landlord who, in fact, growing up, I knew him as Money Miss Road. Most people, once you say Money Miss Road in our environment where I grew up from, most people know who you are talking about. For some reasons, I tried as much as I could. Of course, as a boy, I didn't understand, or none of this made sense to me. I just knew that his nickname or his name, as I grew up to know, was Money Miss Road. To some persons, it was based on mockery. They mocked him with the name. And the only facts that are very clear, or that were very clear at the time, was that he didn't have a car. He only rode a bicycle. And in fact, it was jokingly said that the second, assuming you steal his bicycle, I don't know if it happened, but I heard it a couple of times, that the second you steal his bicycle, he goes straight to the market to buy another one. So he literally has the money. But this same Money Miss Road man is or was our landlord at the time. And guess what? He was landlord to over 100 people. Landlord to over 100 people. Yes, landlord to over 100 people. This man had buildings scattered in so many places. All he knew how to do was to build a room and a parlor. And guess what? This man was a multi-millionaire. Of course, he didn't know how, or didn't have a car. And I guess growing up, I realized that's the reason that they call him Money Mystery, because they expected him to look like the money he had. For example, use the most expensive car in the town, since arguably he had most tenants, or he had a lot of tenants, as it were, right? So people expected that, I mean, he should look it, own a very big car. When I remember his story, I remember the reality or the possibility of building wealth through rental income. I'm not sure if his father was wealthy. I don't know that part of the story. But one thing I know is that he's applying a principle, which is the principle of building wealth through rental income. So last year, I enrolled for a business and leadership school, a 1 year business and leadership school. And one of our guest lecturers, who is a multi-millionaire, when he came around, he was talking about wealth principles and all of that. And as a matter of fact, he is retiring already, and that the money coming from rental income from all of his houses in Abuja are absolutely enough to give him the kind of comfortable and luxury lifestyle that he wants to live when he retires. In fact, it was a very inspirational moment or lecture with him that day, because it reiterated the importance of rental income and how you too can consider rental income your retirement strategy, really, because it is indeed a way to build sustainable wealth and also a way to earn forever, right? So that's basically what we intend talking about today. I just needed to share those stories to sort of give a proper foundation to what we want to talk about. So yes, rental income is a major strategy in the real estate business to be able to build wealth. And of course, if you're looking at a retirement plan, it's also a very good strategy. If you're looking at building wealth through rental income, then of course you want to watch this video to the very end, because from this point, I am going to be sharing strategies or things you need to pay attention to when or if you want to build wealth through rental income. The very first thing you need to pay attention to is the location where you are looking at doing rental income. Now, without bias or sentiment, it is not something that has to be argued. There are some locations in Nigeria where you build a two-bedroom flat, and that two-bedroom flat will be going for as low as 100K every year. There are some other locations in this same Nigeria where a two-bedroom flat can be going for as high as 10 million naira a year. And guess what? The amount of money that you may spend in building a two-bedroom flat in location A may be as or maybe a little higher or almost the same amount that you will use to build it in location B. Yet, the return is completely different. One is giving you as low as 100,000 naira per year, every year. So in other words, you're like, or even let's go with 120. So you're like 10,000 naira every month. While the same two-bedroom flat, it is two-bedroom flat everywhere. The same two-bedroom flat is giving you as high as 10 million naira in another location. Again, the location makes a difference. If you're looking at building wealth through rental income, you definitely need to consider the location where you are putting in that money. Of course, the price for the land it would definitely not be the same, right? That is very important. That's your capital investment, right? But in terms of other expenditures, you're most likely the same. And guess what? If you are a land banker, if you're somebody who penetrated in the early stage, prior to when you start doing rental income, then of course the money, the capital investment that you put into that project may not be as high as when you get it in the present. In other words, if you're a land banker and also somebody who wants to penetrate the rental income end of the business, then you are definitely going to be making a lot of money, because with your land banking strategy, as development gets to that place, then you can employ the rental income strategy. That way, you are winning on both sides. So first foundation is understanding the location that you want to do land banking. One of our clients who eventually bought 2 plots of land through us, when he came to the office, we sat and talked for a while. I showed him our brochure, the listings, properties that we have, and all of that. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to mention the name of the area now, but at the end of the day, he said that he had been wasting his money building in a particular location in Nigeria because he couldn't believe the amount of money that I was mentioning that would come out from Abuja in terms of returns on investment, and he saw them himself, right? So location makes the difference. You want to really consider location because it can make a huge difference on the rental income that you are going to be getting per annum. And of course, it also helps how you are able to get your capital investment, because someone said that one of the best ways to know a good investment is if you can get your return on investment as quick as possible. As a matter of fact, he specifically stated that you have like a 10 to 12 years period to get your capital investment. And if you can't get your capital investment within 10 to 12 years, then it can be considered as bad investment. In other words, you can build a house, say around 30 million in another location, in location B. And in the same location B, you are getting rental income of 100,000 naira every year. How many years do you think you can get your investment of 30 million back? Because you use about 30 million to build it. Right. So how long will it take you? Let's even say you're doing it that your rental income is say around 1 million. Right. How long will it take you to get your rental income? That's safely around 25, 30 years plus minus. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we look out for in our portfolio and our listings is the amount of time that it will take you to get your return back. For all of the properties that we have right now on our listings and our brochure, you don't have to even wait for as high as 12 years to get your return on your capital investment back. That is how good investments are, right? So these are some of the factors that we look out for. And that's why we are called the cash flow company, because we really look out for all of these things, right? So the amount of time you will get your return on investment is also very important as it relates to how you are also getting the rental income, right? Number 2, the second thing you really want to look out for if you want to be successful as a rental income king, as it were, right? You have to really pay attention to the type of building that you are building, the type of property that you want to be doing as rental income. Some persons say that properties are empty in Abuja. The truth about it is, I'm yet to see a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment in a good location that is empty in Abuja. You won't find it, except the owner just doesn't want to rent it out. If not, it is hard. It is almost impossible to see a 2 or 3-bedroom that is empty in Abuja and nobody wants to live in it. Because the 2-bedroom, the 3-bedroom let's add the 4 bedroom. They are meeting the housing deficit in Nigeria. It was announced a few weeks ago now that Nigeria has hit 28 million housing deficit. And a lot of that number is from Abuja, because a lot of persons or politicians, big men as we would like to call them, they just build big houses, 5 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms in some areas that go as high as 20 million. How many people have 20 million to be paying every year as rental income? Number 4 is management. If you want to be profitable, if you want to be successful as someone who is looking at doing rental income as a business, or business of renting houses, let's call it that way. If you want to do that, then you really want to look out for good management. All right, the good management of that property will also help in giving you good returns, because you don't want to have a house where of course tenants are paying and money is not getting to you, or you don't want to get a house where tenants don't pay because the managers brought in the wrong people and all of that. So these are factors you also want to look out for, and of course we can help you in doing that, right? And then lastly, you also want to look at the demand of that particular property. Now the demand also helps, especially the location. Now even in Abuja, right? I already gave instance of Abuja in terms of as against other cities. And now even in Abuja itself, there are locations where there are higher demand than other locations. That's also what you want to look out for. So yes, the demand of that particular location is also critical. But let me now say that you shouldn't use because of this point and say you don't want to start small. The land that you are seeing that is in Asokoro today, or the man that is getting rental income from Life Camp or Guzapi or some other developed areas in Abuja, they actually may not have bought it today. So you have to look out for, if you don't have the immediate funds to buy into those locations today, you have to humbly and with foresight buy into other locations that you know that in no distant time that they will also be cities, and at that point you will be smiling. That's why I mentioned or spoke about land banking earlier. If you want to consider going into developed areas, then that may cost you a little more, right? And if you want to wait till you can afford those locations, of course, by the time you're ready to afford those locations, you definitely will be buying what you could have bought years ago at a cheaper rate. So basically, let us end by saying building wealth through rental income is possible. You just have to do it right, do it in the right location, and of course, do it with the right people. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Raymond Dijoma, and I'm a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer here in Nigeria. This video is brought to you again by Fortreal Rei Ltd. We're a real estate company right here in Abuja, and we are committed to you want to be part of your financial success story as you journey to building sustainable wealth through real estate investments. You may want to consider subscribing to this channel and staying in touch, and of course, reaching out to the number shown on your screen if you need our services right now or you need our services tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, bye for now.